Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we've got Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back, and today we are working on a Matt Cardona Elite figure, and this is one I've kind of had on my list for a while. I didn't know what attire I wanted to go with. He's had some really cool looking ones since he's been in the indies, and overall I've really enjoyed his work in the indies. I think that he is the perfect kind of heel character for the current time in the independents, where he's using his fame from WWE as a tool instead of just using it to say oh, I was in WWE. He has found a perfect way to work like those smart indie fans, and I think he's been fantastic. His stuff in GCW isn't for everyone, and he's not just GCW, but he's been around a lot of places in the indies, and I wanted to make a new figure of him, so I don't even know the last Elite we got. Maybe it was that red, white, and blue one, and they did give him a bigger body, a bigger formula there, but I have a WrestleMania 32 custom I made of him, just using the basic parts. Obviously here is kind of a brand new formula, everything. The legs, I'm not sure. I think they're from an Elite Batista, and then the calves I'm going to use are from a Billy Gunn figure. Then the boots I have, so he does wear shorter kick pad boots, so these shorter kick pads do work, unlike, they use it for Johnny Gargano. It was horrible. They've tried it with, they do it with Kevin Owens. Nonetheless, they're going to work here. We took these from Kushida, going to acetone the design off those, and then we've got a lot of painting to do, so got to paint half of the attire pink, half the attire green, and then the arms are actually from a Macho Man figure already, and the torso is it might be from a Macho Man too. He wore some darker wrist tape and darker hand tape, green, but it was darker, so that's going to be a little bit off, but I figured I already have the hands here. I kind of have that green tape. It's based off of Macho Man in the attire that these arms are from, so not a huge deal for me. I don't mind stretching that out a little bit. And then the head scan is just one that we've already gotten from Mattel, so I would have preferred he was not smiling, and I'd also prefer his beard was a little bigger, but we make sacrifices here and there, not the end of the world. I do have an order with head gimmicks that I'm hoping by the time that I finish up this video, I get it in and I can sneak it in there at the end, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let's get to it. As always, we got to start getting everything prepped so that it's ready to paint, ready to do all that. So, gonna take everything apart here. I am going to leave that, this was from I started with this Elite a while ago, and I was going to do a different attire, so that's why I've got all the black. Got to swap everything around. We've got white knee pads because that's going to be a lot easier to paint over, and I don't like putting a ton of paint on, so we're going with the base white knee pads, even though we're going to paint them. I did have pink and one green knee pad, but it's on one of my customs already. I don't want to take those off, so as always, here we go. Got to get off everything with acetone. I said it once, I'll say it again. My least favorite part, but got to do it. Makes it look much cleaner. So I'm going to paint white on first. So sometimes when I have designs or lining that I need to do, I'll put a couple layers of white on and then let it dry, and then I'll use a pencil to just draw where the lines need to be, just so it's a little bit cleaner and I'm not really guessing as I go. This is a pretty simple design I have to do. Just need to kind of draw lines down the middle and then kind of decide exactly how the waistband is going to line up, because he's got kind of a split attire. So the time lapse for this I did record a while ago, so I didn't stop to pause and talk about the paint I'm going to be using. I used Apple Barrel for this, and the green that I used is called Sublime Lime, and then the pink that I use, I actually have the wrapper worn off a little bit. It says it starts with a P and then an A, and it says pink, so some sort of pink. It didn't the pink went pretty well. The green was a tiny bit off from the decals, so you can't really tell the way you cut the decals anyway, but the green was maybe like it could be a little more like of a flat color, maybe more like a flat green, not as lime. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. It's not always easiest for me to like match up the colors. Nonetheless, gonna paint everything up. Overall, it works. So gotta get everything cut out, gotta get the decals on, and for the most part, if I have to match the colors, I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna cut really close to the decal so that there's less of the decal color if it's not lining up perfectly, which is gonna happen. These decals aren't made specifically to like a specific paint, as far as I know, so you're gonna have to match that up every now and then. Not a big deal, but once these legs are all painted up, applying the decals is just icing on the cake, and I always have a lot of fun because you really see the custom come together once that's... Alright, here's our finished product, and this was a fun one. I avoided doing it for quite a while just because I knew I was going to have to do a lot of... Not the painting isn't what like turned me off from it. It was just kind of the whole complexity of how it was going to look, making sure colors were in the right place. But once I got to it, it was a lot of fun, and I love that Matt Cardona takes inspiration from other wrestlers for his gear. Obviously, this one is a Macho Man, so I did go all the way through and painted it up. I have this head on it, but I was lucky enough to get a mail call before I had to record this final shot here. So we've got the normal WWE head, which is fine. It'll do if I'm doing like some in-ring shots. But the mail order, mail call, whatever you want to say, came through from Head Gimmicks, and I got the Deathmatch King head. I did paint it up real fast just so that I could get it in here, and I think it looks awesome. Obviously, you can see like the beard on here is just painted. It's not that thick beard, and he's smiling, and that's not the look that I wanted. So we've got the head. I painted the sunglasses. You can see it says Deathmatch on the crown. Painted the purple. The hair's there up top, up top. And overall, the head scan itself, I think, looks awesome, but just this whole package, the only inaccuracy, like, really for me is the arms. So the Macho Man arms is what I used, and those are a different green than the green that Matt Cardona actually had. It was like a darker green, but I wanted to just go ahead and use those Macho arms. It didn't bother me a lot. The last thing I did want to do, though, so here, we got to get up close so you can see a shot of all the tights. The green and the pink was a lot of fun to paint. We've got the knee pads here. Deathmatch King on the back. So we've got Matt Cardona, and then his inspiration for the gear, we've got the Macho King, crown and all, scepter and all. Yeah, scoot these over, center these a little better, come on. Obviously, there's some differences there, but that's clearly where his inspiration came from, and I think that's really cool. Obviously, people do that all the time. They take inspiration from other things, but Matt Cardona is very on the nose with his inspiration, so it's cool to have these next to each other. That is everything for today's Work in Progress Wednesday, though. If you like this, go check out some more that we've got on the channel. I've got a lot of stuff coming. Episode 50 is very, very close, and I plan on doing a very large video for that. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.